Good morning and welcome to Faith Church. Let us begin together by remembering what our mission is. Our mission is to express God's love to all, invite others to know Jesus, and to make faithful disciples. Let us enter into God's gates with thanksgiving and enter his courts with praise. Welcome, Faith Kids. It's so great to see you all here today. This week we're going to be learning about the 10 men with leprosy. So let's get right into the story.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. My name is Chris, and I want to tell you about something that happened to 10 guys.
Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem when he met a group of lepers.
Whee! Watch this, Mom. Whoa, ta-da!
No, 10 lepers, not leapers. That's better.
Not for me.
This is awful.
Hey, whose foot is this?
It's mine. Pass it back. Thanks.
All right, back to the story. So these lepers were living outside the city because no one wanted to be around them.
That's because if you caught leprosy, you could lose feeling in your fingers and toes or even lose a limb.
How scary is that?
Meh, whatever.
I miss my mom.
I can't even get a pizza delivered out here.
I just want to go home.
So when Jesus got close to them, they all cried out to him.
Jesus, Master, have mercy on us.
Please, heal us. We all want to go home.
And I want to get a pizza.
They didn't want to be lepers. They wanted to be healthy again. Jesus looked at them and said,
Go show yourself to the priests.
That's what lepers did if they got better. A priest would check them out and make sure they were healthy. Then lepers could go home again. The lepers thought about it for a while.
Why go see the priests if we're still lepers?
You guys got anything better to do?
Maybe the priest has a pizza.
Come on, guys, let's go.
The lepers did what Jesus said. As they walked, they started feeling better.
Wow, I can smell again.
This is great. I can feel my toes again. I've got toes again.
They looked at themselves and at each other, and they saw that they were healed.
Woohoo! Last one to see the priests is a rotten egg.
I'm going home.
I'm gonna go back to work.
I'm gonna go get pizza.
9 lepers dashed off to see the priest, but one leper stopped and turned around. He ran back to Jesus. When he got there, he praised God and thanked Jesus for healing him. Jesus said,
Stand up and go. Your faith has healed you.
"The one leper who came back knows what we know. Jesus deserves our thanks."
Chris, did you take out the trash like I asked you?
Mom, I'm in the middle of... Wait. Mom deserves my thanks too. I'll do it now, Mom.
Pizza.
Faith kids, I hope you learned something from the 10 men with leprosy. Let us bow our heads for a brief prayer before you each go your own way. Dear God, we pray that you will watch over these children as they are back in school again. Be with them, keep them safe, and keep them connected to God. Amen. Now let us begin to prepare our hearts for the sermon.
I'd rather be pleased than
Let us join together in a word of prayer. Gracious God, when our spirits lift at the beauty of the day, you are Lord. And when chaos threatens to overwhelm and we dread the next news cycle, still you are Lord. Always you are creating, redeeming, sustaining. Speak then your mercy into this place until we discover the courage to open our eyes, unclench our hands, and move toward our neighbor in need, until all the world rises and moves with the rhythm of your grace, for we long to honor the name of Jesus. We bring to you today the joys and concerns of our hearts. We give you thanks for all the gifts you have given us. We pray for those who are in need of healing and wholeness. We lift up one another as we go through this season of uncertainty in our time. God, we know deep within our hearts that by the power of your loving presence, you are able to accomplish abundantly far more than we can ask or imagine. Mighty God, you spoke the world into being. Speak now to our hearts. By the power of your Spirit, make these ancient words live, that we might be shaped into your people, eager to bear your claim in the world and to give flesh to your future. For we pray in the name of Jesus, who leads us into life. Amen. This morning, we're going to take our message text from Romans 14, verses 1 through 12. Welcome those who are weak in faith, but not for the purpose of quarreling over opinions. Some believe in eating anything, while the weak eat only vegetables. Those who eat must not despise those who abstain, and those who abstain must not pass judgment on those who eat, for God has welcomed them. Who are you to pass judgment on servants of one another? It is before their own Lord that they stand or fall, and they will be upheld, for the Lord is able to make them stand. Some judge one day to be better than another, while others judge all days to be alike. Let all be fully convinced in their own minds. Those who observe the day, observe it in honor of the Lord, and those who eat, eat in honor of the Lord, since they give thanks to God, while those who abstain, abstain in honor of the Lord and give thanks to God. We do not live to ourselves, and we do not die to ourselves. If we live to the Lord, and if we die to the Lord. So then, whether we live or whether we die, we are the Lord's. For to this end Christ died and lived again, so that he might be Lord of both the dead and the living. Why do you pass judgment on your brother or sister? Or why do you despise your brother or sister? For we will all stand before the judgment seat of God. For it is written, "As I live, says the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall give praise to God." So then each of us will be accountable to God. I've titled my sermon today, Can Do. You know, we Americans like to pride ourselves on our can-do spirit. That's how our country came to be. A scruffy band of colonists defeated the Great British Army. It was this gritty determination that drove countless of tiny wagons full of families to move out and settle the wild spaces of the sprawling continent. People from many diverse countries have embraced this spirit of can-do. America's songwriter for the 20th century, Irving Berlin, caught and personified this can-do-ness at its cockiest when he featured Annie Oakley in the musical Annie, Get Your Gun. If you remember, sharpshooter Annie Oakley engaged in a one-upsmanship boasting match with her competitor, Buffalo Bill Cody, boldly singing, everything you can do, I can do better. I can do everything better than you. Yet, we all know that there are some battles that demonstrate how impossible it is to win. You know, for some of us, it's the battle of the bulge. The outcome is evident in the shorts and bathing suits for the season. Now, here in sunny Florida, that's a pretty constant year-round reminder. But for every 10 people subsisting on salads with fat-free dressing and diet sodas, there's that one person who's munching on cheeseburgers and fries with Twinkies for dessert, looking as slim and fit as a professional model or athlete. You know, genes just don't play fair. For some people, every calorie consumed seems to add weight, while for others, whole cheesecakes are burned up through the mere act of breathing. Some people eat no red meat, no fatty goodies, and give up the old-fashioned farm ham breakfast forever in an attempt to get their cholesterol levels under 200. Others can spend their time cooking and eating gourmet delights, swimming in real cream and butter, using lard and bacon as everyday condiments, all the while enjoying a serum cholesterol count somewhere around 115. It's just not fair. But Paul was right. Some people can eat anything and it won't hurt them, while others, for them, food presents a clear and present danger. Unlike Annie Oakley, everything you can do, I can't do better. Despite our American can-do spirit, the truth is that we're not all created equal on every level. Assuming we can do everything, that we would have no limits or boundaries, buys nothing but trouble. When we all try to do better at the same thing, it brings just more competition and scratches out diversity. Now, diversity is necessary for community. My husband made this very clear to me. You know, my dad and his brother, they were handy people. They could take apart and fix anything and it worked fine. He told me that's not his talent. For instance, he said, if he repairs the roofer's children will go hungry. So we all have different talents and gifts to share. Paul says it this way to the Romans: a body has many parts, each with a different role to play. Communities are the same. Diversity is necessary for a vital community. Paul's admonition to the Romans that it is not just that it is all right for a variety of interpretations of Christian life to exist, but in order to remain true to one's own faith convictions, these differences must continue. If the church has consistently stumbled on one avenue of Christian life, this is it. Often out of well-meaning good intentions for Christ, the church has utterly rejected Paul's call for Christians to compassionately practice a commitment to diversity in their midst. Ever since the Reformation and the birth of Protestantism, the church has found it easier to create a new congregation or a new denomination rather than to tolerate genuine diversity in its ranks. The list of topics that have given rise to new communions runs the gamut from scholarly theological disputes over interpretation to divisions based on cultural, political, and behavioral differences. Some reasons strike us as profound and worthy, such as the congregational commitments first to freedom in the 1860s and then to civil rights in the 1960s. But give consideration to some other disagreements that have recently torn congregations and denominations apart. Card playing, jewelry wearing, dancing and drinking. What about some of the really hot button topics that stop or start a conversation today? Abortion, gay rights, economic vitality versus environmental health, women's ordination and married clergy, arguments between the evolutionists and the creationists. Does Paul's advice call us to find a place for a multiplicity of Christian convictions, or are there some points of truth that cannot be argued? You know, honest differences are bound to exist within any body of Christ, but accepting them, not judging them and cutting them out, is the healthful attitude that Paul encourages. The church has shown no measure of intolerance over its lifetime. Yet education and inquiry have always been a significant part of the church's tradition. During the misnamed Dark Ages of European culture, the church was often the only sanctuary for ideas and ideologies. The monastic libraries often held valuable writings not found anywhere else. The early church seemed to have enough confidence in its convictions to banish the fear of foreign ideas. This history urges all of us in the body of Christ who see themselves and what they believe to at least listen with compassion to those who differ. Paul's words encourage us to strengthen our community through a sense of interdependence and acceptance. The spirit of swaggering independence that America has long prided itself on is belied by our everyday existence in this postmodern age. Interdependence, not independence, is what now defines our lives and lifestyles. Catholic theologian Lawrence S. Cunningham illustrates our dependence on each other from his own experience. I sit at my word processor, assembled here in the USA, with chips made in Japan, in a pair of Levi's sewn in Mexico, while wearing Reeboks, a British brand of sneakers, which a discreet tag informs were manufactured in South Korea. For lunch, I'm going to eat a salad made from vegetables grown in South Florida, which were harvested by a vast army of migrant workers or contract workers from the Caribbean. The ordinary circumstances of my comfortable life, in short, are dependent on a large number of people who are alien to me in culture, language, and economic status. Paul calls Christians to a compassionate acceptance of diversity within the church, and I may add, in the community. Paul does seem to have his bottom line, but it's hardly one that would bring any of us much satisfaction as we argue for our particular point of view on any of these issues. What Paul insists is that all believers are united by Christ's death and resurrection. Accepting Christ's lordship is Paul's indisputable starting point. We are all welcomed into God's household, and by God's grace and mercy, we are all considered children of God. Amen. Now let us meditate on these words as we hear this song of praise.
Joy comes in the morning light. All you gotta do is hold on. Just try your eyes. 'Cause my friends, it will be alright. Yes. See, there are times when you have to cry, and there are times when you wanna ask why. So don't let go of his unchanging hands, 'cause I guarantee my God will be there on time. So hold on, yeah, yeah, yeah. it will be alright.
I'm gonna sing it one more time. See, there are times when you have to cry, and there are times when you wanna ask why. Oh, but don't you let go of God's unchanging hand, 'cause I guarantee that He will be there on time. So hold on,
Hold on,
yeah.
it'll be alright.
Oh, I guarantee that
Joy comes in
will
the morning light.
All you got to do is hold on.
Hold on, just try your eyes.
I know it will be
alright.
Let me hear you say, hold on.
Hold on,
Hold on.
hold on,
Hold on.
hold on,
Hold on.
hold on.
Through your trials and your tribulations. Hold on. Hold on.
It'll be alright, alright. He'll bring you through. Alright, don't give up, no. Don't give in, no. God's got you. Alright, so don't worry. Child, don't you worry. God's gonna fix it, don't you
So hold on.
It'll be
Friends, I guarantee that
Joy comes
joy is
in the morning light.
All you got to do is
Hold on, just try your eyes. It will be alright. It will be alright. It will be alright. It will be
As we leave this virtual shared space today, let us make a commitment to stay connected with one another. And let us dedicate our offerings for the mission that God has given us at Faith Church. And let us enter this new week with God's blessing. Let us pray. Holy One, receive these offerings as you receive our lives. Gather our false starts and uncertain efforts, our generosity and our reluctance. Enliven us with your breath and make your purposes known, that our lives might show forth your glory. We ask that your holiness burn away our complacency, that your living word expose our foolishness, and that the Spirit of mercy turn us home, that your grace might spill from our lives, giving hope to a perishing world. We pray all this in the name of the one who taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. And now we will close out this worship service with our song, Send Us Out.